Hello, I'm Michael, and tucked away right at the bottom of my staircase, I have these guys. So these are Rock Lords. They're like a GoBot spin-off, and I'm going to do my video today for Throwback Thursday on these guys here. So I've got most of them, and I picked them all up when I was a kid. So they're actually from the 80s, either shop bought or from car boot sales or charity shops at the time. And they are robots that turn into rocks. Okay, so here's the first one. This is Boulder. He is the leader of the Good Rock Lords. And I found that they are very, very fragile. They're from 1986. They were by Bandai or Tonka, depending on where you bought them from. And yeah, the plastic hasn't aged well. I was showing one of my daughters one of them this morning, and its tail snapped off. It's currently being like glued. So I'm very reluctant to transform them all. But here is Boulder, the leader. Would have had a gun here, but he came from a car boot sale. And he is a robot that turns into a rock. So fold his arms. Fold his arms, close his head, tuck feet in, and fold him up, turns into a rock. And I used to like dotting these around my grandparents' garden for them to find. And obviously, because they just look like they're lumps of plastic, they found them really easily. But it was cool when I was a little kid. So he's the leader. And I want to say, if I remember the cartoon correctly, which I've not seen since the 80s, they were robots that got kind of trapped in rock and it kind of fused to them. But here we go. That's Boulder, the leader. Oh, I'm just so worried that he's gonna break. So I've got the majority of the good guys. There's Boulder. Let's stand him up. And then this one was one of my favorites. This is Granite, and his head pops in and out. So that's head goes in, head slides out, and his hands go above. So they're all kind of, they've all got Rocky themed names. Oh, fold that round like that. And then, oh, folds up into a rock. They're all going to fold up into rocks. And pop head out. Okay, Granite, put them there. And then this is Nugget, super shiny. Was the comedy relief style character. His head fits quite nicely inside. It's got these thrusters at the back that close and open. But yeah, very cool. Slightly annoying, sort of Orko, snarfy style character. Let's put him there. He's kind of like sidekick character. This is Crackpot. Head folds in and out, kind of closes up quite nicely. Whole waist turns. As you can see, I am missing the weapons for a lot of these because even the ones that were shop bought, unfortunately, I've misplaced. This is Marbles. I believe he was the clever one of the group. I think this is supposed to be like an oversized brain. Let's put Marbles there. And then finally, for the good guys, this is Pulverize. And I always kind of liked his insecty, mantisy style face. So let's put them there. So these were the good guys. But then we've got some more. So this is Magma. He's leader of the villains. He folds up into a very blocky figure. Unlike Boulder, who's quite smooth and sleek, this guy is incredibly square when folded up. And then this is the very first one that I ever bought. This is Sticks and Stones. Would have come with like a kind of double-headed spiked mace. So he's quite cool. Let's put him there. And then this is their shiny equivalent. Unfortunately, the shine's dulled a little bit on this. And this is Slime Stone. And then here we have Stone Heart. Always thought big, giant, crazy lips here. Not sure about that. This one's actually still got its weapon. And then this is Tombstone, who was a little bit more snake-like. But this is Tombstone. Then this is another one that I bought at the shop. This is Saber Stone. And the head goes in, and the head pops out on a little spring. I remember thinking this one was a lot more slimier with its tentacles and its kind of hooked feet, almost tendrily. And then this is Brimstone. Brimstone's got a mouth that opens and closes as part of it. It comes with an axe. And then this one's actually a shock rock. And this is, I want to say rock roller. And as you can see, it's got a wheel underneath. So some of the later ones, they actually came with actions. And the idea is that you can spin him and he whizzes along on the floor. Does have legs that twist out. But I always found that they were incredibly top heavy and would always top over. So I tend to display them on the shelf in sort of sit down mode, but with the face out. So they also had kind of like a companion line. These are the Gnarlies. I never really understood them. They are kind of furry. Well, they're furry animals, but this is Gnarly Hog and this is Gnarlizard, and they've got a wheel underneath, and as you wheel them along, their noses move. But I'll openly admit I tend not to do it anymore in case the wheels break, because the plastic in there looks quite fragile. So they're the Gnarlies, and I guess they were kind of just little things that scurried around in the cartoon. So here I've got their backing boards, because these were my original ones. So here that's by Tonka. So Gnarlizard is apparently an evil rock gnarly, and a sharply hooked nose and razor-like claws of the Gnarlizard are a telltale sign of his dangerous nature. So as you can see the little picture on the back, there's also a Gnarligator and a Gnarlifant. And I know that I think there was about 9 in total. And then this one is Gnarly Hog, who is a heroic gnarly, and like the Gnarlifant, the Gnarly Hog likes to be around the good rock lords, so he usually is good-natured. So there we go, a little picture showing that you go along and they kind of snap. But wait, there's still more. So this is the Terror Rock, and it's a rock that turns into a pterodactyl. Its head's unfortunately very, very loose, and let's get the tail out. There you go, it's the Terror Rock. Always have trouble standing this one. And then this is the one that unfortunately broke on me earlier, the tail detached, and this is Spike Stone, I want to say. Now, its horn and its tail, years and years ago, were rubber, but as they've aged, they've gone really, really hard and brittle. You know, that kind of when you've got rubber and it goes, basically it degrades with age. That's what this has done. So it's kind of faded, changed colour, and all I did earlier was open this and the tail just fell off in my hand. Didn't even use any brute force. So that's them, and they're like fossil rockosaur creatures, so they're quite cool. And then this is Sunstone, and he's one of the 3 gem characters, and this is Flamestone, and they're gemstone characters. And the 3rd one is Solitaire, who is kind of like a female diamond character, but these are Flamestone and Sunstone. This one, always a pain to transform as a kid. I could never get its head to go in and out. It's kind of like you pull the chest apart and the head comes in, but it was always super stiff. So I always think they're both very, very cool. And then finally, they did 2 vehicles. I've only got one of them, but this is a plane that, as you can see, it's got wheels. It's a plane that transforms and turns round. You can put the wings away, you can move these bits, and this transforms into, oh, wings away, transforms into a car. I think it looks much better in wing mode, and it's got this, like, press this and that fires out. It's like a battering ram. But there we go. That's it. My rock lords. Thank you very much for looking. Take care.